There are a lot of perks to traveling to Union, Oregon that can be a fun and entertaining experience for all ages that visit this location. These activities can range from both indoor and outdoor activities, historical and educational, sports, and there are also facilities within the area that allow the population to live comfortably. It's a wonderful and positive place to experience for both residents and newcomers alike. For this presentation, however, we're going to go into a bit more detailed analysis of the Buffalo Peak Golf Course, one of Oregon's finest golf courses. For this analysis, we're going to go over the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of this location and come to a conclusion on how to keep this recreational activity thriving in the long term. So to briefly summarize the history of Buffalo Peak Golf Course, it resides at the edge of Union, Oregon, within 15 miles away from La Grande. It is a public 18-hole golf course that has also been used as a land extension for the Union City water processing system. Before we go into a deeper analysis of the golf course, let's take a look at the objectives that need to be accomplished to keep Buffalo Peak thriving. First of all, we want to make this golf course affordable for people of all ages and skill levels, as well as promoting the development of their growth in golfing skills as well. We also would like to provide these services in a way that will generate revenue that exceeds the overall expenses of the golf course. Let's take a dive into the current strengths Buffalo Peak has through their current operations. Their first strength is their location. They occupy a space that is open for activities and also a quiet place of solitude. The fact that they have such a wide open space for their recreational activities allows them to provide a 18-hole golf course flexible for singles, dates, families, and a series of events. Along with the fun activities, they also provide golfing supplies and refreshments. Another quality that makes Buffalo Peak so great is their way of adapting to multiple age groups. From young kids to adults, these activities can be adapted based upon the overall experience of those visiting and have an interest in golfing activities. There are also some perks seen on the Buffalo Peak website where they showcase important information such as hours, pricing, how they price their services, contact info, and more. Buffalo Peak also has provided lessons for those that are in need of golfing instruction. Some locations don't offer the type of lessons provided here, which can discourage people to experience golfing. These lessons are offered by Scott Markham, the PGA head professional. Here's a brief rundown of their strengths and financial revenues as well. Although within the past few years from 2012 through 2015, their revenues were at a rate of decrease. They managed to replenish those revenues gradually between the years of 2015 and 2016. Now that we have dug into all the strengths of Buffalo Peak Golf Course, let's dive into the weaknesses as well. When looking at your website, another thing about it that we would recommend adding is more content on some of your web pages. As cliche as it may sound, what you say about your golf course on the website is important because it's an essential way of differentiating yourself from your competitors. One of the pages we thought could use a little more detail is the About Us section of your website navigation. On this page, it is beneficial to have the shop hours listed, although providing accurate time increments for your specified hours would be recommended to reach an understanding of your actual hours with your target market. Other things we would also recommend adding to this page are included in the presentation notes page. Since everyone is using the web every single day, adding the right content and providing enough information about what your business is doing on a regular basis will give people an easy way to stay connected to you and the services and products you offer. What we would recommend you invest more of your time in doing is creating an online store for your merchandise and link that information to your current website navigation. As you can see on this following slide, there are a few perks to consider with making an online store accessible for your target market. It also looks as though you don't seem to have any events displayed. Maintaining at least one event a month, as well as keeping it updated on your website, gets your audience more engaged and encouraged to venture to your location. Letting people know about future events that are happening, as well as informing them on what type of events you hold and reserve, provides meaning. Several questions I can imagine people asking about your events being held are whether you allow people to reserve their birthday or weddings at your golf course, or if you just hold certain events relating to golf. The finer details are important for reaching an understanding to your audience. In the presentation notes we've provided, we have given you an example of a menu design to consider as well. We have also attached a financial model spreadsheet to our notes as well for your review. According to the forecasts indicated on the spreadsheet, there's a struggle with some of the expenses involved running these operations. Now, to start with the opportunities, you have the historic Union Hotel as an ally for a golf travel getaway for people coming in to visit this location. The Union Hotel was built in 1921. This imposing three-story brick building is the largest commercial structure in Union's Main Street. Restoration of the hotel began in the 1990s and continues even today. The Union Hotel is renowned for its beautiful theme rooms and excellent food. Around this part of Oregon can also include activities such as whitewater rafting, panning for gold on the Oregon Trail, and visiting the Paleontology Museum. Since Union, Oregon has a population of approximately 25,000 people, this provides Buffalo Peak Golf Course with a great opportunity overall to increase their traffic and revenues in their business. This can give a door of opportunity to providing corporate events, weddings and receptions, fundraisers to assist in revenue increases, parties, and so much more. Considering that the cost for these renovation strategies will range from $86,000 and $1,700,000, we have come up with a list of ways to fund all these ideas we are considering. If you'd like to see more information about this list of ideas, you can refer to page 12 of the notes page to find descriptions and links about each option. One of the ways we would like to renovate the clubhouse is by giving it a new, fresh-looking paint job. Here's a little bit of a breakdown on how much it would cost to get both the interior and exterior done with a fresh new look. On average, the price would range between $2,943 and $3,971. Similar to the previous slide, we will also dive into the breakdown in cost it would take to place fresh carpet within the clubhouse. The average it would cost for the materials, labor, and equipment needed to get the job done would fall somewhere between $746 to $2,311. We We've also come up with some costs for updating light fixtures and upgrading interior design capacity and patio renovation. Overall landscaping costs would be around $10,000 to $20,000 to complete. Overall, updating the existing clubhouse as a whole, including all prices for renovations, would be somewhere in between $86,794 to $100,000. There are a few pros and cons to consider when making these upgrades to the current clubhouse in the long run. One of the biggest perks is that it could expand Union, Oregon in a positive way by providing more opportunities for growth and better services overall within the area. Although pursuing these renovations can also put the business out of service for a period of time that could potentially result in profit loss. The nice thing about getting these renovations, though, is more for the long-term reasons. First of all, it gives you more opportunity to serve more private venues such as weddings and birthdays, as well as overall community events such as fundraisers, for example. The existing building could also be relocated for other uses such as a second-level banquet facility, although these changes could result to parking conflicts and permitting for zone change of use. The following information on this slide shows the square feet of space it would take to occupy specific facilities needed within the clubhouse. You can also see the spreadsheets we provided in detail for these above projections. And here we have a visual representation on how the clubhouse spaces will appear after renovations have been made overall in various proposal concepts. To get into the threats Buffalo Peak has to face, one of the biggest ones would be the problem with their expenditures exceeding their revenues. Another major threat that's being faced is dealing with their current competitors within the Oregon area. Some of the most well-known competitor names include LeGrand Golf Course, which is very well known for its quality courses for the best of the best golfers and enjoyable for the beginners. They also have relatively nice views of the Blue and Eagle Cap Mountains on their site. Their second major competitor is Quail Ridge Golf Course. Their best competitive advantages include great quality year-round golfing services, quality facilities, and quality golfing equipment for people to utilize as they play. Their last major competitor is Alpine Golf Course. Their biggest competitive advantage is their bar and grill refreshments, their pro shop, and their beautiful wide open prairies. In conclusion, by replacing the existing clubhouse with one that has a quality restaurant, pro shop, and providing venues for both private and community events, Buffalo Peak Golf Course has the potential to recover their financials and in the long run have their revenues exceed their current expenditures. Thank you for watching.